Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to Humanity Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon, and we are glad to be here one more time and again. We would like to thank all our supporters, everyone from countries to countries, continents, cities, states, neighbors, social media platforms. You guys are doing a great job getting the word out there, and I'm very proud that I'm very selective in what we put out. You know, to see the reaction to the material we put out, the information we put out, it touches my heart. Um, I started this podcast a year ago, almost a year and a half ago, and I know I just wanted to change, make a change, or impact somebody, or just give out information that somebody can use and pass down to somebody else. Little to behold, 145 episodes later, maybe 150 now, episodes later, we're all over the continent. You guys might not see it because most of you don't have the advantage that I have to look at who downloads this stuff. But people in different countries really listen to us. And a large support come from United States, but overseas is where it's at. People are doubling our numbers overseas. A lot of information that we give out is just that. It's information. It's just things that make keep your eye peeled and to know what's going on in the world and the society. And we all living. We all just trying to be around and blend in with each other. And when one country suffers, we all suffer. When one life is lost, all lives are impacted. And if you don't think so, just look at the economy, look at your community, look at what goes on each and every day in your neighborhood. It's impacted. That's why they say voting is so important because the officials you elect to be your spokesperson will affect your community and your environment on how you live. Because if you put somebody that's not for the people in charge, then you're looking for a rough, hard run with that person elected as an official for you. It's very important that people pay attention to who's getting elected or being pushed by the machine or just in general, um, because that's where we're headed. Normally, when you see certain people being pushed, certain things change and shift. So you just need to pay attention. Um, I'm sorry. I want to apologize to all my listeners. I'm sorry for all my supporters. I'm sorry that I took so long to come out with this episode, but I didn't want to give you low hanging fruit. And still I went and had to give you low hanging fruit. I mentioned this in the prior episode of 144, but I didn't go into deep expansion on this topic that I'm going to talk about today. Today is is Friday, July 3rd. And I decided to push this out. And I wanted you guys to understand, and please forgive me, but I just don't like giving you information that's already out there. I like to try to give you stuff that is new and appealing to your ear and your eyes so you'll be able to transfer it to the next person. Um, that's what I try to do. Sometimes it works, it's pretty good, sometimes it's not, but nevertheless, we had a lot of hits on our last like 5 episodes where the shorts was coming up big. A lot of people was tagging the shorts One of the shorts got 11,000 views, and it's really cool to see that a lot of people are checking it out. And, you know, whether that brings traffic to my page or to the channel, okay, if it's not, still 11,000 people paid attention, and that's cool. I'm here for a good time, not for a long time. So please take off your shoes, relax your feet, get you something refreshing to drink. You know, I'm a coffee guy. You know, I got to go get my coffee, but I didn't get my coffee yet, but it's on the way. I got to have my coffee. Today is topic for the podcast. This is Humanity Unplugged podcast, and I am your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. We're 6 minutes in on the time, and I wanted you guys to know that Venezuela Aftermath. You know, I talked about that prior about Venezuela having an earthquake, and now this is the aftermath of the earthquake and the damage that is done and the carnage of people left devastated, lives lost, impacting nations all over. So we need to talk about it a little bit and get deep into it. I'm not going to hold you long, but we will have a good time. So without further ado, I want to give you this information, and hopefully you could take it and run with it and understand, you know, what it's about. Yeah, I know it was an earthquake in Venezuela, right? So I'm going to play this again as a short skit of the earthquake and how people was running around at the airport. This was a continuation, I believe, from 144, where I played this clip. I'm going to play you some more clips. Now, this earthquake happened about 5 days ago, but it really took shift about 2 days ago. Here we go. It's just things shaking, people going crazy, running around at the airport. Some people are staying still, hiding underneath things.
Observen cómo quedó el aeropuerto Maiquetía estando nosotros acá.
It's in English. It's a subtitle at the bottom, guys.
Acabado totalmente.
The airport was devastated, guys.
Observen cómo quedó todo. Señores, grave la situación que estamos viviendo acá. Terremoto de alta magnitud. Miren cómo quedó todo. Pueden observar, yo grabé.
All the baggage claims, everything, all the tile from the ceilings is falling down. It's nothing but debris, construction. Look like a construction place. Everything is dust. Everything is concrete. Really sad. Elevators are ringing off. People may be stuck inside the elevators at the airport. Certain people are coming out. So I wanted y'all to see that first because that was the first one. And I want to give y'all some more. Of course, you know, you got to get some more. And we're going to get into it a little bit. First, I'm going to give y'all this one here. This is the one. Here we go.
Venezuelans are still looking, desperately searching for their loved ones, a week since back-to-back earthquakes rocked this country. At the main morgue in Caracas, I meet a shell-shocked Careles de Went. Her 22-year-old brother was pulled out alive from the ruins by his own friend, but he succumbed to his injuries last night. And there's more.
Está desaparecido, no aparece. Mi sobrino, mi primo, mi tía.
Her aunts,
she tells me a
her
dozen
moms,
family members
everybody
are missing. 3 confirmed dead.
The magnitude of loss has yet to be fully felt here in Venezuela. As families drift from hopeful to disbelief, there's a real sense of bewilderment and now face the very painful task of having to track down their bodies.
I make my way to see a forensic pathologist who has just returned from the makeshift morgue in the hard-hit area of La Guaira. We meet in the car and protect her identity for fear of retaliation.
Al día se ven como 400 cuerpos. Los cuerpos que no están
400
identificados
bodies, they lined
automáticamente
up
se
all
ponen en la
outside
caja
on
improvisada,
boxes.
que son
Y'all should really
gandolas.
see this. It's
Perdón,
going to be on
son
our
containers.
YouTube page as well, guys. It's going to be on the YouTube page, but you should see these boxes of bodies just laying all on the ground. It's crazy. This remind me of COVID, but this is a whole nother dimension of COVID. Because see, United States had some of the resources, so you know Venezuela don't have the resources, so it's crazy out there, really bad.
A blunt take from a frontline worker seeing death up close. Isa Suarez, CNN, Caracas, Venezuela.
Or rescue crews are trying to save a man that's stuck beneath the rubble of a shopping mall parking lot. Our specialists from Portugal, they say that they've been in contact with the 44-year-old security guard. He's been trapped for more than a week now after those twin deadly quakes.
Estou a vê-lo aí? E aqui? Ele está aqui ligeiramente à esquerda. Hernani, fala comigo! Buenas tardes! Buenas tardes! Você consegue depois se mover até a luz, não?
It is just a remarkable scene that's playing out right now, where you can hear that voice still sounding resilient deep beneath all that pile of rubble. What they're using right now, first responders and rescue crews, they've established a line to at least establish contact and also be able to provide some sort of sustenance, as he's been down there for 8 days.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on.
I'm sorry, guys. I got to play this. Give me a second. It's unfortunate, but, you know, they got to pay the bills. Here we go.
International crews, they are helping to make many other rescues as well, but this does come as the death toll has now risen to almost 2,300 people. About 2,000 U.S. troops are also assisting local volunteers in the search for the missing there. And they say that they were fully focused on saving lives until they're told to leave. And the search continues for a group of Venezuelans who had just arrived back in their country after being deported from the United States the day that the quakes hit. They were staying at a hotel in La Guaira, which collapsed in the disaster. Some did manage to escape, but others are still missing, and their family members are waiting nearby for any updates. CNN contributor Stefano Pozzebon reports.
It's been a week since a double earthquake devastated Venezuela. But for Ninosca Gutierrez, the pain feels very fresh.
My legs were straight, but I had a beam on top of me, trapping me. I couldn't feel my legs.
She said she escaped miraculously with just minor injuries, scrapes and bruises, slipping from under the rubble and walking for 2 miles before finding help. But this latest tragedy, part of an endless list of blows. She fled Venezuela's economic crisis in 2018 and had been living in Minnesota as an undocumented immigrant since 2024.
This year, 2 U.S. citizens died for defending us. The U.S. administration really made a mess with the migrants.
Scared by the unrest in Minneapolis, she moved to Miami, where after an incident with her daughter, she was arrested, charged with a misdemeanor, and transferred to ICE custody.
I was held for 7 days in the worst conditions you can imagine. They treat us like animals.
Deported on June 24, she and other 145 migrants landed in Caracas just hours before the tremors began.
They took our handcuff off. Thank God, because finally I was going to be free.
Gutierrez and the others were in this hotel when the walls began to shake, the floor crumbling under her feet.
I mean, when you got out of there, what did you see?
I couldn't believe it. I don't know if I was conscious or not. Everything was so fast, and I asked God, why did you allow this?
Venezuelan authorities are yet to say how many of the 146 deportees died in the earthquake. Many are still missing. In a statement to CNN, ICE said that when an individual is no longer in ICE custody, the agency is no longer responsible for them. At home, Gutierrez is somehow trying to rebuild her life. She reconnected with her daughter, Oriana. a daughter she had not seen in 4 years. And in signs that life goes on despite the tragedy, her niece has just given birth to a healthy baby. Stefano Pozzebon, CNN, Barquisimeto, Venezuela.
In a few moments, you'll hear from a member of one humanitarian group, and she'll discuss what it will be like eventually transitioning from rescue to the solemn task of recovery. But meanwhile, communication blackouts in Venezuela and a lack of information, they are making the anxiety just so much worse for family members that are stuck thousands of miles away. CNN's Carolina Peguero spoke with a mother in Miami who's desperate to find her son, who's likely caught in the earthquakes.
You can't imagine what it's like not knowing, because I'll be honest with you, if at least I knew something. It's been so many days, not here, not there, not anywhere. Forgive me, I can't speak.
Clenching to her rosary, Mariana Campero says she will not lose hope or faith that her son, Levi Alfredo Carrizo Campero, and his wife, Valentina Maria Angulo, are found.
He's alive there, in a hospital, anywhere. I'm not going to lose faith. I have to be strong. He's my son, and there are miracles. I ask God to help me, to help all of us, all Venezuelans who are going through this. We don't deserve it.
The young couple had moved to the state of La Guaira 2 years ago, looking to build a new life and start a family. They bought an apartment in the Coral Bella building, located right on the coast.
He left for love, because she has a son. He was in La Guaira, she's from La Guaira, and he's from Valencia.
Today, a week after the tragedy, only rubble, concrete slabs, and twisted metal remain after the earthquakes on June 24th shook the nation.
The last thing we knew is that they were at home. After that, I tried to contact him several times, but there was no response.
The last time I spoke with her was Saturday, and I'll tell you something. Don't leave a message to answer later. The next time I wrote was, "Friend, are you okay? Friend, are you okay?" And I'm still waiting for her response.
Mariana Blanco, a friend of Valentina, and the family have only been able to communicate through this chat from Miami. She is calling on the Topos of Mexico to help find them.
Because of the frequency of these tragedies, you are the most trained. For the lives that are still there, please help us.
According to Mariana, neighbors and relatives of the nearly 20 families who lived in the Coral Bella building have not received the machinery and equipment or necessary assistance, something that makes the search efforts and signs of life even more difficult to trace.
We need shovels, cranes, gloves, masks, and we need...
That's the thing, guys. You can rescue people if you got the resources. If you don't really have the resources, how can you put together a legit rescue team? You can't just move this concrete and stuff with your hands.
Need those rescue teams.
While Levi Alfredo's mother, who is here in the U.S., Carolina Peguero, CNN, Miami.
Lois Pace is the regional director for the Americas at the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Society, as well as the former director of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Global Affairs. Lois, thank you so much for taking the time to update us.
Thank you, Paula, for having me.
So you're there in Caracas, Lois. I wonder if we can get started with an update on the IFRC's humanitarian mission there in Venezuela. We're just over a week now since that awful tragedy. What are the priorities?
Well, the priorities remain just taking care of the people who are affected. There are literally thousands who remain displaced. Of course, the government and other organizations and institutions have set up shelters to serve those thousands. We're providing food, health, and other services alongside a number of organizations that have come to Caracas. But yeah, the Red Cross is just really focused on ensuring we get to people where they are, not just in the hardest hit areas, but in all of the areas over the days and weeks to come.
We've heard almost on a daily basis from people there.
They have dispatched 17 metric tons of humanity supplies for Venezuela people. 17 metric tons. That's a lot of stuff, guys. It's a lot.
Especially the Venezuelan people growing outrage with the government response. When it comes to groups from the outside that are coming in to step up to help, just how crucial is it to have that help from organizations such as yours and from other countries that have been flying in?
It's been really important, and I think really a balm to the community and to the government, frankly. We've been welcomed with open arms on all sides. I think it helps that the Red Cross is just such a well-recognized institution, including here in Venezuela. There's, in fact, a law that really dictates how the Venezuela Red Cross works alongside the government as an independent, neutral, impartial institution, and that helps us really have the confidence of communities here, given our 131 years of existence and all of the volunteers that come from the communities themselves.
What are the challenges, though, Lois, as you're out there working and trying to provide that relief?
Oh, goodness. There have been some access challenges, although those seem to have...
Your next breakdown could cost thousands. I'm sorry, guys. I got to play it. In a couple seconds, we'll be back to the scheduled program. And here we go.
Endurance covers your...
For people to process, we will start to recover bodies, remains. We want to do so in a safe and dignified manner for everyone. And so I just, need to pause and recognize the emotions around that, including for frontline workers. I was able to have conversations with some of those search and rescue teams today, recognizing that there are still people under the rubble who perhaps can't be saved because of the status of some of those structures, because of the time we have to save them before they fall victim to this tragedy. And so that's quite hard too. And then there are all the other issues that come up. It's not just about shelter, which is critically important. It's the fact that people perhaps have lost their jobs. I mean, the international airport remains closed, and a lot of people affected live close by, work at places like the airport. Also, a place that was affected is a major tourist area. Again, those hotels have gone away. And so what are people doing to sustain themselves? That's another challenge I think we'll face in even the longer term.
No, Lois, I'm glad you mentioned, too, the emotional impact on these first responders and on these crews that have been out there already for days. It was just on Wednesday that we heard from the UN's Disaster Assessment and Coordination team that told CNN that rescues past 7 days have been documented in other disasters, but the reality is that those would be considered, to use that official's word, miraculous. Of course, we're all holding out for a miracle. If we could close perhaps with how people who are watching this around the world can help if they wish to do so.
Well, thank you for asking that, Polo. We have been really proud to have launched an emergency appeal for funding. Funding really does go a long way in these situations. Of course, we have the people who are qualified to come in and do this work, and the Venezuela Red Cross, the other agencies and authorities involved are very clear about the goods and services they require. But we need the funding, and we're about 20% of the way there, maybe 30% of the way there in terms of pledges. But given the long road ahead, agencies like Red Cross, Venezuela Red Cross, International Federation of Red Cross.
People are out there in tents, guys, just in tents. They have no water, no food, just in tents, man. It's crazy. It's so sad.
They require those resources to do more for the people of Venezuela in the short and long term.
We are following some updates out of Venezuela, where rescue crews are trying to save a man that's stuck beneath the rubble of a shopping mall parking lot. In fact, just a short time ago, the crews, they gathered outside the access points to that site. You see them, they're preparing. The 44-year-old security guard, he has been trapped for more than a week now after last week's deadly earthquakes, and they've been able to make contact with him. Listen to this.
E aqui. Eu estava aqui ligeiramente à esquerda. Hernani, fala comigo. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Você consegue depois se mover até a luz?
Yeah, Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, says that 44-year-old man that you can see still trapped beneath the rubble as they scramble to try to save him. The operation is really quite risky, and it is taking help from teams from multiple countries in order to pull him out safely. In fact, they've been not only watching the man around the clock, but they've been giving him food as well as fluids, and they've had to establish a line there to be able to provide him with that sustenance. Again, we are following this, and of course, as soon as there are any developments, hopefully positive developments in this, we will certainly bring those to you here on CNN. Meanwhile, the death toll in Venezuela, it has now risen to almost 2,300 people. Some families, though, you see, they are still holding on to hope that they can find their missing loved ones, even though they haven't been seen since the earthquakes hit over a week ago. But as unidentified bodies pile up in temporary morgues, it is clear that not all of those reunions will happen as they hoped. CNN's Isa Suarez reports from Caracas.
Venezuelans are still looking, desperately searching for their loved ones.
I want you guys to know that this was a good coverage. I really enjoyed this one. It's sad that the people of Venezuela is going through that, and recovery is very slow because the resources are terrible. You can't bring in machinery and the structure that's needed because they don't have the resources to do it. So a lot of the recovery is based on manpower and knowledge. And, Blue Cross Blue Shield is in that. I haven't seen FEMA at all. I don't know where's FEMA at, but no FEMA signs. I haven't heard nothing from FEMA to go over there and assist or bring some type of support. Look like it's a lot of nonprofit and stuff like that donating money and giving to the cause. So let me know your thoughts, your prayers and how you feel about such an event like Venezuela and the aftermath of them having this two devastating earthquakes that hit. It shook up the world, and people have been missing now 7 days, 6 days, 8 days. And some people are still alive, buried underneath the rubble of concrete and metal. My thoughts can only go out to someone who hasn't seen or heard from their loved one. It's, my prayers. That's crazy. I don't know what I would do. I guess I can only say in conclusion is make sure you take the time to talk to your loved ones as much as you can, because you never know when they are reachable today and you can't reach them tomorrow. So those are my thoughts. And we have to roll with the dice that's given to us. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. This is Humanity Unplugged podcast. This is the 145th episode, Venezuela Aftermath. You decide, if you'd like to donate. I'm quite sure you can locate Blue Cross Blue Shield. You can locate probably Red Cross. You probably can FEMA. I'm quite sure there's other private entities that you might can donate to the cause to try to help people in need, such as the people in Venezuela, because they got a long recovery time coming. The structure is crazy. The houses, everything look like they're going to take 3 to 4 years to get back. Peace and God bless y'all. Protect yourself at all times.